Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto Naruto Next Generation discussion. And today we have some breaking news that we need to discuss, which is that after the last Boruto manga chapter that's dropped, you probably are eagerly anticipating the next chapter, which is obviously going to be the time skip. However, Boruto's manga will be going on a hiatus for a few months, and I want to talk to you guys about why this is really happening and whether or not you should be freaked out, because I've been seeing people fall for misinformation that has already begun to pop up following the news that broke a couple of days ago and the news that just became official today after the new Boruto chapter dropped via the official server. So we know this information because it's directly coming via V-Jump magazine and from Manga Plus, the app that releases Boruto chapters digitally on the day that the magazine publishes Boruto that goes on sale, i.e. the 20th each month, with a couple exceptions each year where the manga is released on the 18th instead of the 20th. Boruto's manga will be returning in the September issue of V-Jump magazine, which, before anyone freaks out, that means the next chapter will be out on August 20th. The chapter drops in August, but the magazine is titled a month in advance. Now, despite what I've been seeing a few people try to say, this isn't because Boruto's manga is selling poorly, which, for those of you guys who are unaware, the manga sales have been dropping ever since volume 1, where the manga sold 350,000 volumes, and ever since 2019, the manga hasn't sniffed 1 million in total sales for a year, which means if you take all 4 manga volumes that are released throughout the year, they don't total up to 1 million in sales, whereas its legacy contemporary Dragon Ball Super started out slow, not even selling 50,000 in the first volume, to consistently doing around 180 to 200,000 sales per volume and consistently selling over 1 million volumes over the year, meaning it's competing with series like Black Clover from the main magazine and series like Rurouni Kenshin Hokkaido, the sequel to the Rurouni Kenshin series, which runs in the Jump Square magazine, which is one of my favorite series, by the way. The reason why this is so important to bring up is that last year in 2022, despite the strong manga sales, Dragon Ball Super's manga went on a hiatus for 4 months after a big cliffhanger, just like what we just got with Boruto chapter 80. Sales are not the reason why the manga is going on a break, but that's something detractors of Boruto, who are secretly Boruto manga fans who happen to know everything that's going on with the manga despite them saying they hate the manga, those people aren't pointing that out. From what I've been seeing, we're starting to see a trend with Shueisha where they're beginning to start give more breaks to the mangaka, something in the many years I've been reading manga, I've only usually seen this with legends like Togashi with Hunter x Hunter, Oda at various points with One Piece, Kubo with the Bleach manga when it went on a break when it was in publication briefly, and Masashi Kishimoto when Naruto's manga took a brief break due to some health issues. Those were the only times I really remember an extended break being given to a mangaka and that mangaka staff. At most, in normal cases, you get 1 or 2 weeks off here or there before hopping back onto the grind of weekly publications and working 3 to 4 chapters in advance with your assistants to begin storyboarding and scripting out those future chapters, meeting with your editors, and etc. In recent years, we've been seeing mangaka rightfully get the rest that they deserve, with Tabata getting 3 months off before the final arc of Black Clover, Gege Akatami getting a break due to health issues when drawing Jujutsu Kaisen, Fujimoto getting almost a year off after wrapping up Chainsaw Man Part 1. The mangaka for Spy Family, a bi-weekly series, gets many breaks where he'll publish 20-page chapter, and then 2 weeks later, the chapter we get is literally a cover, a single double-page spread that says come back in 2 weeks. It's not always 30 to 40 pages every 2 weeks. We're seeing some breaks being given here, which, if you're familiar with the schedule of a mangaka, you know how grueling it is. I've talked in videos in the past about how Kishimoto drawn the Akatsuki suppression arc, i.e. the Hidan and Kakuzu arc, and how he cut it short because he had a slipped disc in his back and at one point was passing out when trying to finish the chapters. There even came a time where he was publishing the literal pencil sketches in the magazine that his assistants had to finish up before the manga volume with all 8 to 10 chapters actually went on sale. The same with how he was sleeping for only 3 hours at a time on some days in order to meet deadlines. Oda's schedule's even more grueling, but let's bring this back to Boruto. So this isn't the first time Shueisha has given Mikio Ikimoto and his 3 assistants time off while drawing Boruto's manga. There was a break when the manga switched from being a special release in Weekly Shonen Jump, where chapters were published every 4 to 6 weeks, and then it got moved to its current home, V-Jump magazine, for a more consistent schedule. We got a 1-month break last year when the manga went on a brief break in the summertime. This is purely business as usual. The timing might suck for a lot of fans because it means you no longer have Boruto anime episodes on what I've seen fans call Boruto Sundays, and you don't even have the manga chapters that come out once a month for the months of May, June, and July, basically the whole summer. However, I think this is a good thing. It gives Ikimoto and his staff a break before working on the second part of Boruto's manga, which we know is likely going to start in Boruto chapter 81, barring any type of flashback chapters for someone like Ishiki or Amato or Code, similar to how Naruto volume 27 had 6 chapters given for Kakashi's story on how he got the Sharingan, which served as foreshadowing for the future events of the manga. Literally right after Naruto left to train with Jiraiya, we got those Kakashi chapters, and then we literally jumped to Naruto at the start of the next volume, returning to the village after 2.5 years. That's really the biggest difference between when Naruto went through his time skip and what Boruto's currently doing. Boruto is on a brief break before we jump into it, which I think is more than deserved. As for how and why, we know this will be the start of the time skip with the next chapter, on top of the chapter wrapping up a lot of things neatly while also leaving several plot points open-ended. Boruto's manga volume 20 is coming out in June, and they're already stating they're charging more for that particular volume, which means they're probably including chapter 80 in it, so as to have the ending of Boruto part 1 in that manga volume, which means for volume 21 we're likely going to see a change in manga covers, similar to how Naruto went from white volumes to black volumes when the manga went from volume 27 to 28, i.e. from part 1 Naruto to part 2 Naruto. So hopefully we see Boruto part 2's manga, instead of having the white backgrounds, maybe we'll have blue or maybe we'll have pink, something that is a color more fitting to what you see with Boruto. Contrary to what's being said online, Naruto volume 27 didn't see a raise in the price because there was an extra chapter. That volume had the same 8 to 10 chapters that a normal manga volume has. Volume 43, the conclusion of Itachi versus Sasuke, and Sasuke learned the truth, however, it did cost quite a bit more because it was 13 chapters of material, because Kishimoto wanted to wrap up the whole Itachi saga in one volume instead of carrying it over to the next volume. However, I do think that when the manga returns, we're going to slow things down a bit, similar to how Naruto part 2 slowed down via the Kazekage rescue arc and the Tenchi bridge arc, and then began to ramp up the stakes via the Akatsuki suppression arc. I think we're in for a similar thing with Boruto. Just as I told you guys following Ishiki's death, we'd be going the whole Search of Tsunade pace for the Code arc, and I was right. And then I said it speed up right before the time skip, which I was right. Telling you the manga's probably going to slow down when it comes back from a time skip. Maybe not at the snail's pace that you saw with the Code arc, but it is going to be slower than what we got for the last 5 months in the manga. Finally, I also want to use this as a chance to say I know a lot of you guys are here for manga discussions, and while we'll still be doing them, obviously, we're not going to do 3 months straight of Boruto fan theories. I know you guys got a lot of theories you guys send me. Instead, you're going to be getting content that's closer to what I've been doing via the shorts that are on this channel, and mixing in some Boruto content in the form of discussions and more Q&As. The team over here at Naruto Explained has been working very hard, yes, on shorts, but also lore videos, light novels, what ifs, and a couple of new series for the channel that I've been putting up previews for over on the Patreon. That's really where you guys have been seeing a lot more content that it's just been me editing, even though I'm not the best editor in the world. It's because we've been loading up bullets because I had a feeling that the manga was going to be going on break soon. So once we run through the Boruto chapter 80 discussions and I go through the fan theories that you guys send me that I find to be interesting, think would be a great discussion, you'll start seeing more of that higher quality edited content that the team has been working on for the last few months that I really think you guys are going to enjoy. I'm still going to hold you guys down for those of you guys who want Boruto content, because it's literally a continuation of Naruto, and not talking about it is stupid, regardless as to how the fandom's at a civil war with itself, with half of the Naruto fans hating Boruto without having original thoughts of their own on why they dislike it, and just regurgitating talking points verbatim that they hear other influencers say, and the other half of the Naruto fans, they enjoy the series the way it is. It's still business as usual over here, but we are going to take this 3-month break to be a bit more balanced like we were when I first started this channel. So what you guys watch is going to tell me what types of videos to continue moving forward. Anyone who dislikes that I started doing more Boruto fan theories and chapter discussions throughout the month instead of limiting to the week of the chapter and the week after the chapter, this is your chance to vote on the direction of the channel, because we're mixing it up and the analytics don't lie. If the retention is high, then we'll start weaning off and doing so many Boruto manga discussions, and we'll keep it more balanced. If the retention is low, when the manga comes back, we'll go back to business as usual. I've always been very transparent. You guys, through your watch time, through your likes, through the number of shares you guys give the videos, that really determines where we go moving forward. That's always been the case. Anyway, how do you guys feel about the Boruto manga going on this hiatus? Well, you think that over, click here to watch Boruto chapter 80 review if you haven't already.